Around 3,000 years ago, a human being pulled a lump of metal out of a fire that would go on to build every empire, every weapon, and every tool that followed. And here's the strange part. They weren't trying to. Nobody set out to invent iron. It fell out of a fire by accident. This is the story of that accident, and the very ordinary people who were paying just enough attention to notice. When you picture the person who first made iron, you probably imagine someone primitive, a grunting caveman, someone far below you. That picture is completely wrong, and it's the reason ancient people feel so distant from us. Because the humans who discovered iron weren't dumb, and they weren't geniuses either. They were something much more familiar. They were curious, and they were stubborn. Exactly like you. Let me show you how it actually happened. Here's the thing people miss. Iron wasn't the first metal. Long before it, humans were already obsessed with metal. Copper, then bronze, melting rock down and shaping it. And to do that, they built furnaces. Simple, but hot. These weren't primitive people bashing rocks. These were people running a craft, refining it over generations, always trying to get the fire a little hotter, the metal a little better. They were tinkerers. And tinkerers never leave things alone. So drop the caveman image right now. Picture instead, someone who's done the same job for 20 years and is quietly, endlessly trying to do it better. You know that person. You might be that person. That's who was standing at these furnaces. Not a different species, not a fool. A skilled, curious human, bored of good enough, pushing for better. That restlessness is the most human thing there is. And it's exactly what was about to change the world by accident. Now the moment. Iron ore was actually all around them. But iron needs a far hotter fire to release than copper does. Hotter than anyone was aiming for. So it sat locked in the rock, ignored. Until one day, a furnace ran too hot. Maybe the wind picked up. Maybe someone packed it wrong, added the wrong stone, or just pushed it further than usual to see what would happen. And when the fire died down and they raked through the ash, there was something new. A dull, heavy lump that wasn't copper and wasn't rock. A mistake. A weird byproduct of a furnace that misbehaved. And here's the part that actually matters. The part that separates a fluke from a discovery. That hot furnace had almost certainly happened before. Fires run hot by chance all the time. The lump had probably appeared for others too. The difference wasn't the accident. The difference was that this time, someone picked it up. Someone looked at the ugly mistake in the ashes and, instead of throwing it away, thought, "What is this? Can I do it again?" That single stubborn question, asked by an ordinary person who refused to ignore something strange, is the entire birth of the Iron Age. Because noticing it was only the start. Then came the stubborn part, the years of it, trying to make that accident happen on purpose, failing. Getting the fire wrong, the rock wrong, the timing wrong, over and over, slowly working out that this new metal was harsh and brittle at first, but if you heated it and hammered it and did it again and again, it became stronger than bronze ever was. No teacher, no book, no idea what they were even doing on a chemical level. Just curiosity that wouldn't quit, handed down and built on, person after person, until an accident became a craft. So here's what I want you to take from this. The people who discovered iron weren't smarter than you, and they weren't dumber than you. They didn't have some ancient genius you've lost. They had exactly what you have. The itch to poke at something that isn't quite working, the refusal to throw away something strange without understanding it, the stubbornness to try one more time. Every world-changing discovery you can name started with an ordinary person doing that. Not a genius in a tower, a curious, stubborn human, paying attention. The distance you feel between you and them, it was never really there. So tell me in the comments, what's the thing you can't stop tinkering with? The one you refuse to leave alone? That's the same instinct that made iron. Subscribe if you want more of these, because that's the truth this channel keeps coming back to. The ancient people who feel so far away were never a different kind of human. They were curious, and they were stubborn, exactly like you. I'm wired, and you're stranger than you think.